Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And for those who don't know me, I'm Rizvan and I talk about men's self-improvement. Today we're gonna talk about how to tell if that woman you're talking to is toxic. I'm gonna break it down into 6 key signs she's toxic. And I do have another key bonus sign at the end, so stick around. Look, toxic behavior can come in different ways, but when you're so caught up in that fantasy, you most of the time you overlook the toxic signs. But today you're gonna learn the toxic signs and how to deal with them. Sign number one, guys, if she's constantly playing the victim. We've all heard of saying, life's tough, and it's quite true. Sometimes we do have struggles, but when every situation resolves around her being the victim, it's time for you to wake up. This is a huge sign of toxic behavior because if every issue in the relationship is somehow your fault, if she constantly blames you about things that you didn't do, or if she had done something, she blames it on you just to take off the pressure off her shoulders. That's literally mental manipulation. She'll be saying things like, everyone's out to get me, it's always my fault, blah blah blah. Relationships should be about accountability, and if she's always putting the blame on others and refusing to take responsibility of her actions, you're dealing with someone who's not yet emotionally smart. If that's the case, then it's time for you to call her out on it. Guys, let's go into number two now, and that's gaslighting. Gaslighting is one of the most manipulative behaviors out there. And gaslighting is when she doubts your reality, making you question things you've seen or heard. For example, let's say you guys are lying down and she's doing something that's kind of out of line, and then you call her out on it. She'll start being defensive, calling you crazy because you think that's out of line. If you're constantly second guessing your intentions or thinking that you're the problem when something doesn't feel right, it's time to step back. No one should make you feel like you're losing touch with your own reality. If she's constantly twisting your words and calling you out because she does bad behavior, then it's toxic and it's time to actually tell her. Now let's talk about jealousy. Jealousy, it's quite a tricky one because every relationships need some jealousy, and well, not a toxic kind of jealousy, but a healthy type of jealousy. But if she's always asking you who you texting, if she's always checking your phone, if she's always asking you who you're gonna hang around with constantly every single night, and that gives you headache, then that's a toxic trait from her. When she's trying to control your actions, your friends, and the things that you do on your own, that's not love, bro. That's just manipulative obsession. You should be able to have your own space and friends and your hobbies without being accused of cheating or doing some things on the side. If she's trying to restrict your freedom, then that's a red flag. In a healthy relationship, you should be able to have your own life and trust each other. Let's go to number four, and that is she's manipulative and plays games. She knows exactly how to get under your skin, and she's not afraid to use feelings into doing that. Like, you know what I'm talking about. She might pull away just to make you chase her, or even lies just to make you chase her again and again. That's manipulative, bro. That's just playing games. If you're constantly feeling like you're walking on eggshells and you don't know what's gonna happen next, or if you have to prove yourself and win her over and over again when you've had a small argument, then it's time to call her out on it. You're stuck in a toxic situation. If she's pulling these emotional strings, making you feel like you're in a constant state of confusion, it's time to call it out. Let's go to number five, and this is a really big one, which people don't see, and that is she disrespects your boundaries. Boundaries are definitely a thing that every relationship does, whether it's physically and emotionally. If you've set a boundary to her, she clearly understands how you feel about the actual situation. If you pointed out that you don't like that specific action, or if she says something you don't agree with and she repeatedly ignores that, then that's a major sign that's toxic. It could be as simple as, hey, I don't like when you do that, please stop doing it. And then she starts going at you with, oh, you're so insecure and blah blah blah. She doesn't respect the basic things you've asked her, like your time, space, and freedom. Then Come on, it's common sense. She's not respecting you. A healthy relationship means respecting each other's needs. But if she's constantly going over your boundaries and doesn't really care what you think, then bro, how can you stay in that relationship? It's not good for you. Just leave her. It's toxic. Let's go to number 6, guys, and that is if she's holding past traumas and issues. Look, we all had past traumas or whatever, but a toxic woman will bring up these arguments and traumas every single time something is not going her way, just to make you feel bad about her. Like, you know the kind I'm talking about. Whenever there's a disagreement, she'd be like, well, do you remember the time when you did that and that and that? The past should be in the past. If she's constantly bringing up stuff that has been already resolved and discussed, then it's toxic. It's a sign that she's not willing to let go and forgive. And that's a big problem from growth, because it's a huge sign for a toxic relationship, because you cannot grow with that. You need to let go and forgive sometimes. And if she brings up past trauma and arguments you guys had, then it's a sign that she hasn't forgotten about that thing and she's not willing to let go anytime soon. And guys, for the bonus sign, and that is money. Look, I get it. Every man should provide for his woman and his family, because I'm Christian. I truly stand by that. But money isn't something that gets talked about enough, and it's important for me to point that out for you guys. If a woman is constantly using money to control you and manipulate you, it's a sign of her being toxic. For example, you might have just started dating the girl a week and she expects you to pay her rent, pay for everything, pay for car payments and stuff like that. And when you don't, she gets angry. Or maybe she'll pressure you into spending more money you're not comfortable with spending. Like, she won't care if you got rent the next week. You have to get that back for her. That's a sign that she doesn't care about your well-being or who you are as a person. She just wants your money. And that's a huge red flag you should be looking to when you find your wife. And another red flag is when you provide for your household, but she doesn't want to do anything in the household. She just wants to sit there like a princess and have money coming to her with bags, shoes, designer clothes, and she doesn't do anything. She doesn't even cook, clean, or take care of the kids. And that's a huge red flag. And I don't know what kind of marriage you're in or relationship you're in, but you should definitely get out of it. Anyways, guys, these are the 7 signs that your woman is toxic. Or even in the future, if you use these signs, you can tell if a woman is toxic or not. And guys, if you want to go and have a look at my next video into how to deal with these toxic people, go ahead and click the video right now. And like always, I'll see you next time.